What's good, y'all? It's your boy Sean P. the Bluff Guy. Aye! And we're back with another reaction video. Today we will be reacting to Ohara 146 insane mysteries that need answers before One Piece ends. But before I get to that, make sure you guys hit that like button. Also subscribe and hit that bell for notifications. Also comment. Let me know what you think of this video. Do you agree? Do you disagree with anything that's said? Add any input that you want to add. Whatever. Just comment below. Also, make sure you guys follow me on Twitch. That's where I do my live streams. And also follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and join the Discord. All of these will be below, as well as the link to the video that we will be reacting to today. So today we are talking about 146 insane mysteries that need to pretty much be solved by the end of the series. Oh man, that's a lot of mysteries that need solving. It's a lot of mysteries that need solving. I could think of a few though that I would like to see solved that I don't know if they'll ever get solved, right? I don't know if these mysteries will ever be solved. A lot of it has to do with the Florian Triangle. I think there's so many mysteries with the Florian Triangle. The big old silhouettes that we seen at that one point, like they were the size. Them silhouettes look like they were the size of like Zunisha or something. You know, those weren't no jaunts. They looked like they were the size of Zunisha. I think there were some cities that we've heard of, like the Emerald City. I remember somebody like bringing that up in the old theory that I heard like a couple years ago. Bro, it's a lot of mysteries. You know, I don't think we'll ever really touch every single mystery. You know, I've also suggested, like, if Oda wanted to continue the One Piece brand, to perhaps make a spinoff, right? To make a spinoff. And when I say a spinoff, I don't mean like a Boruto. I don't mean before everybody get at me in the comments, I don't mean like a Boruto type situation where Luffy has a son and his son is trying to become the Pirate King and we get another 1,000 episodes. That's not what I mean. I mean, introduce a new character that's not trying to be the Pirate King, that's not trying to accomplish, that's trying to take over the world or anything. Different goals. One thing an idea I think would be a good idea is if you had somebody who's like a archaeologist, kind of like Robin, possibly, right? Like somebody who's like Robin, who is just trying to figure out the secrets of the world. And I think a series like that could touch on a lot of mysteries that One Piece has created that we would probably never get. You know what I mean? I think something like that could be dope. Maybe Robin, like let's say after the series end and Robin is back to being an archaeologist again and out there trying to find the secrets of the world, maybe continue with Robin, or just have a different character, maybe set in a different time, maybe the future, maybe the past, or we could even use a character that we have established, somebody like Nolan Montblanc, right? Maybe we could see some of the adventures that he been on. Maybe he learned some of the secrets of the world. Just throwing that out there. I think a spinoff could be a good idea, and it doesn't have to be a continuation of the One Piece story. It could just be like its own standalone series. We don't need to know about Luffy's background or none of the Straw Hats background. They don't even have to be shown in the series. You could have a completely different, like if you put it in a different time period, there could be like different characters. Maybe you can have some of the old characters, like some of the old men that like Sengoku, Garp, Kong, right? Maybe something that was during their time when they were starting up. You know what I mean? So then we could kind of see how they became who they became, but through the eyes of like somebody who's not really affiliated with them. You know what I mean? Like maybe we learned stories about Garp through the newspaper. You know what I mean? I think it could be dope. I think it could be a dope opportunity to continue to use the One Piece brand, expanding the One Piece universe without making it repetitive or having like 1,000 episodes. Like it could be like 2-3 seasons. 26 episodes each. But that's just my suggestion. I'm not Oda. Oda doesn't even have to really be involved in it. He could retire, let somebody else pick up the pieces who is very familiar with the story and that he trusts to continue to legacy. But yeah, anyway, let's get into it, guys. I don't want to talk no longer. Let's go.
Is the One Piece. A couple more years, one last saga. It's really hard to believe that One Piece is coming to a close soon, allegedly at least. With 25 years of publication, it started to seem like the story would just go on forever, but all good things must come to an end, even if Oda-sensei is being a little bit, let's say, optimistic.
Oh yeah, and another thing, we got a bunch of unexplored islands that we could see. Like that one island with all the lightning. Hey, I'm just saying, man.
About his estimates. However, what's even harder to believe is how many open questions we still have to be answered. How many mysteries still need solving. How many people and places and events we still have to see in the story. And so I took to Twitter, and together with you, we found 146 things that we still need to see before the end of One Piece. And so let's start with what many fans think will be the setting of the next arc. We still need to see Elbaf, the land of the giants, and concerning Elbaf, we still have a few questions like, who is Loki, the prince that Big Mom mentioned on Whole Cake Island, who Lola was engaged to? Will we meet other Norse mythology inspired characters like Thor or Odin? Well, actually, I guess we already met Odin in Wano, so that might be a bit too many Odins for one story. In Big Mom's flashback, we also saw what appeared to be a massive...
That is Odin with an E, not Odin with an I. Just like we got Koshiro and Kiyoshiro, right? I mean, even though they're pronounced different as well, but they're not as similar as Odin with an E and Odin with an I, But just throwing that out there.
Massive tree on the island. Is this the fabled Adam tree? We also know that while the giants have a strong connection to Norse mythology, a certain red-haired pirate who still needs to reunite with Luffy also has a Viking-inspired ship. So we have to ask, what is Shanks' connection to Elbaf? And before we reach the final destination, Laugh Tale, we're still missing one road poneglyph. Where is it? Is it on Elbaf? Before we get into all the action here, a quick...
Where is the last poneglyph? Like, is this question I've asked multiple times? I think that was the one that was on Fishman Island at one point. So... Because there was, if I remember correctly, there was a road poneglyph on Fishman Island. There was 2 poneglyphs. And one, I think, was the road poneglyph. So it was moved. I'm thinking maybe Whitebeard took that one. Because Whitebeard was kind of the protector of Fishman Island at one point. So maybe while it was under his protection, he took it. And maybe if he had it, maybe Blackbeard found it. And maybe Blackbeard got it now. Because we know Blackbeard took all of his territories except for that one island that Marco was protecting. Unless that poneglyph is on that island. And then Blackbeard could get it while Marco is gone.
Link and using the code in the description below for some exclusive in-game rewards. And speaking of Laugh Tale, we obviously have a load of questions about this mysterious island as well. The first being, well, where exactly is it? And what was so outrageously funny that it ended up with laugh in its name? What exactly was Roger too early for in arriving there? Elbaf and Laugh...
Alright. I mean, I kind of think Laugh Tale, as of now, right? I think Laugh Tale is somewhere where it's hard to access. So I'm thinking either in this lobby, the waterfall, or I'm thinking like a sky island, like one of them two, right? As far as what Roger was too early for, I think he was too early. Whatever he found out at Laugh Tale, it was like... Cause you guys know, like, I think the One Piece has something to do with uniting the world into one piece. You know what I'm saying? And in order to be able to do that, I think you need the three ancient weapons. You know, and when Roger said he was too early, that was because all the ancient weapons weren't available. They weren't all accessible. Because we know that he learned about Poseidon and the mermaid princess being Poseidon, right? Shirahoshi being Poseidon specifically. And he was too early because Shirahoshi wasn't born at that time. You know, she had some time to go before she would be born. And Roger was pretty much a dying man at this point. So, if you look at that and you say, look, I'm not going to exist when Poseidon exists because I'm too early, that's kind of what I think Roger was referencing to when he said he was too early. You know, let me know what you think.
Tail are the two islands the Straw Hats absolutely 100% still need to visit before the end of One Piece. However, there are still loads of other locations that we're wondering about. One place in particular that we need to learn a lot about is God Valley, but we'll probably only get to see anything about it through flashbacks. We probably won't visit this location in person on account that it's completely disappeared, which raises the questions, what happened on God Valley and why did it vanish? But these three places are far from the only ones we still have questions about. Other places we're still curious about but aren't necessarily likely to get answered.
Bruh. Yeah, man. The questions, man. The questions. It's a lot of good questions. I don't want to stop it for every single question, but God Valley, man, that's like one of those that it's like, it brings a load of questions, you know. I think it could have been something to do with like Zebek's ability. Maybe if he had the Yami Yami no Mi, right? Maybe he sank made it disappear in the darkness or something, possibly. Like maybe his last ditch effort was pretty much sinking God Valley into like his black hole, including himself probably. Maybe that's how he died. You know what I mean? But I don't know.
Answers before the end of the story include Lodestar Island and the mystery and its importance in teaching pirates about the Poneglyphs, the fabled Emerald City, a mythic place on par with the Golden City on Skypiea, and where and what was the thing that we saw sucking Cabone.
You know something? Like Lodestar Island. What if that's where that mysterious person is with the scar is? I feel as though all the other supernova probably been to Lodestar Island, you know, because when we went to Zoe, right, they pretty much said, hey, when you get to Lodestar Island, you'll probably learn everything that we'll tell you now. So, but not many people has been to Zoe. So maybe Kid has been to Zoe, or maybe Kid has been to, he hasn't been to Zoe, but maybe he's been to Lodestar Island because obviously he's aware of the importance of the road poneglyphs. And we learned the importance of the road poneglyph at Zoe. So if that's the case, Kid might have learned it at Lodestar Island. And in learning it at that island, maybe he met that man with the burn scar. Just saying. We know that Straw Hats haven't been to Lodestar Island yet. So if he's there at that specific island, they would have never learned.
Bitch and the fire tank pirates into the sky. Also, before we saw Buggy get imprisoned and pulled down, he was searching for Captain John's treasure. Where and what is that treasure? Does it have anything to do with his recent promotion in rank? Oh, also a quick shout out to Vin and Tavio, the 2 subscribers of the day, both having me helped increase my bounty closer to 100 million berries in overtaking treble. And it's not just places we haven't been to that we have questions about. What about those islands we have been to? Questions like, why is it always day on Ennis Lobby? How were the gates of justice constructed? My personal vote goes to the unspeakable power of Awakened Bueno. What were the giant silhouettes we saw
facts though, man. Like people be under us. Like Bruno has a very OP ability if used right, man. Like this man can create time and like he could manipulate time and space. You know, create these little doors, these little portals. Bro, come on, man. Like, he has probably one of my top I don't know if I'll say top 5 favorite devil fruits. Maybe top 10 though. I will say he's at least in my top 10. You know what I mean? I might have to make a top 10 of devil fruits or I might do a tier list of devil fruits as well. But I feel as though I might do a tier list and then I might do like a top 10 like my favorite devil fruits, you know what I'm saying?
The Florian Triangle. Where are they building the bridge on Tequila?
Tequila Wolf, exactly. That needs to be. And see, Tequila Wolf. I think that would be better answered in a spinoff. You know what I mean? But I wouldn't be mad if it's like answered when we get like this war with like the world government, right? Where Luffy might end up fighting like Eam or something. If that happens, maybe Eam spills all the beans to a lot of these secrets. Tequila Wolf, I feel as though one of those things that's always forgotten about. Like nobody ever talks about Tequila Wolf anymore. Like there used to be theories back in the day, but nobody really talks about it anymore.
Wolf 2. How will Luffy destroy Fishman Islands? What happens during the reverie on Marijoa? How was the Red Line created? What was Sunisha's punishment that led to Zoe moving around for centuries? How were Wano's borders closed? And let's not forget the ever important moon. Sometimes I do feel bad for anime only watchers because they don't get to ask questions like, why are there 7 moons? Are the Sky Islanders from the moon? What is Enel doing up there with the space pirates and an army of automatons? Okay, let me catch a breath here. That's 31 questions so far for those of you who are keeping score, and those are only questions about the geography of One Piece. But what about the over 1,000 characters of the story? Well, we have plenty of questions about those too. Some important characters exist only in legend. We haven't even seen them, and yet they have an impressive presence in the series. The first that comes to mind is Rocksteady Zebek. Who is he? What was his goal? How did he gather such a powerful crew? And what was his ultimate fate? And what about the greatest scientific mind of the world government? The creator of the Pacifista and the artificial devil fruits. Who is Dr. Vegapunk? Along a similar line, we also have Scopper Gaban. Where is the Pirate King's third in command? Was he Crocus's mysterious samurai friend? Oh, and yeah, who is Charlotte Snack? There is a whole suite commander that we never got to see on Whole Cake Islands. And
I won't lie, the Snack one is I don't see it as important who Snack is. Even though that is kind of a mystery that I think should get answered. If it never gets answered, I think we've kind of seen him a bit to kind of guess what he might look like. But even then, it's like I don't find him that intriguing, me personally. So if we never get the answer to that, I'm fine, right? I'm fine unless he end up saving Big Mom, whatever Big Mom's going through. Maybe he saves Big Mom and Kaido, and that's when Oda decides to showcase Snack.
And while we're super curious about these mysterious figures who've yet to be properly introduced, we're also missing some of our old friends that we just know will play a role in the story to come. Some of these we're bound to hear from very, very soon, and others we might be waiting a while, but in the meantime we have to ask, where exactly is Sabo right now? What happened to Vivi? What happened to Moria? What's the status of the Shichibukai who were being hunted by the world government? So where is Mihawk? Where's Boa Hancock, and what about Weevil? Oh yeah, and is Edward Weevil actually?
I think we got some answers to this one. A good question that I would ask when we talk about old friends, right? Why haven't the Straw Hats gotten Bon Clay out of Impel Down? That's a real question. Why didn't Luffy go back for the main man, the big homie Bon Clay, bro? Come on, man. Bon Clay over there rotting in prison. I mean, he's not really rotting in prison. He runs that little club that Ivankov used to run in Impel Down. But come on, bro. We gotta go get Bon Clay. We gotta get Bon Clay, man. We gotta go break the homie out. Even though I don't know, I think what's really keeping Luffy away from Impel Down is Magellan. Nobody wanna mess with Magellan. I'm telling you. Magellan ain't to be trifled with. I think even now, I think he's still a threat, bro. Magellan is a very underrated character. Especially in Impel Down, you don't want to deal with him. He's not somebody you want to deal with. Cause even if he can't hit you, bro, that poison is gonna affect you. It's going to affect you. Especially in that enclosed ass prison.
Whitebeard's son? You know, you do have to admit that the mustache resemblance is uncanny. And what about the people that he's after? Where are the remaining division commanders of the Whitebeard pirates? What role is Crocodile gonna play at the end of the story? And what is the big secret from his past that Ivankov threatened him with? Where is Uruj, the member of the worst generation we probably know the least about? With all of his peers being really fleshed out at this point, surely he also has a role to play in the future as well. There are also still a lot of loose ends to tie up from recent arcs, some other characters we'd still like to check up upon for example. How will Charlotte Katakuri factor into the future of One Piece? Will he...
Big homie Katakuri. Katakuri. We need Katakuri. Like, every time he's in the series, it's just better, right? Like right now, we know that he's fighting the Vinsmokes. You know, in a recent cover page that we got, him and Oven were both fighting the 3 Vinsmoke brothers. So, how does that play out afterward? Hey, I can't wait. I can't wait to see the next cover page. But I want to see an actual fight, though. I don't want to just see it in the cover page. I want to see a fight. I want to see them fight. That's why I wish Oda actually put some of these cover pages into the anime as well. Because some of them do have some very important information and stories. You know, kind of like Anel and everything. So, the Vinsmokes, I kind of hope will eventually come back to the Straw Hats and work with them in like the later arcs. Like if there's a big war, maybe they help the Straw Hats or something.
Ally with Luffy in the final war. What happened to the Fishman pirates after Whole Cake Island? Did they survive Big Mom's onslaught? Speaking of which, what happened to Big Mom's children who came to Wano after they were knocked off the waterfall twice? Oh, and speaking of Big Mom, are Big Mom and Kaido gone? Dead? Forever? In most series, this wouldn't be a question given their current status of being submerged in lava, but this is One Piece we're talking about, and they might just have the will to survive on their side. What about the characters we haven't seen?
That's a tough question, because that heat I don't think will really bother somebody like Kaido, because when he was in his dragon form, like near the end of the fight with Luffy, and he submerged he like pretty much coated his body in those flames. They were said to be hotter than magma, or as hot as magma at the worst. So I don't think he would like burn to death. Big Mom, on the other hand, I don't know. You know, even though she uses Prometheus a lot, but Prometheus is just normal fire. But they both also have tough bodies. Like base level, their bodies are super tough. So maybe their bodies can withstand the heat of the magma. And on the other aspect as well is, okay, so speaking of devil fruit weaknesses, a lot of people always say, oh, the devil fruit users are weak to seawater, which that's not the case. They're weak to bodies of water, right? Bodies of water. When their body is submerged in water, that's where they're weak, right? And that could be the same for any other form of liquid, right? Like if your body is submerged in a certain type of liquid, it will affect you as a devil fruit user. And if that is the case, lava is kind of liquidy. I'm just saying potentially the lava could affect Big Mom and Kaido as devil fruit users. But that whole thing might be exclusive to water alone. But this idea that devil fruit users are weak to seawater is wrong. It's their body being immersed in the seawater. Not my words. Oda said it himself. Y'all go look it up. You know, if you want to argue, no, it's seawater. No. Oda said himself, it's how much of their body is submerged in water. I might be wrong about the lava affecting devil fruit users, such as Kaido and Big Mom, but the water part confirmed by Oda, not me.
In a really long time. We already mentioned Enel a little bit when we talked about the moon, but I'm talking back even further than that, all the way to the East Blue. Where did Axe-Hand Morgan escape to after his cover story? When will Jin finally reunite with the crew? And will we see the most important character in the entire series again? Gaimon? Well, probably a Laugh Tale, since he, of course, is the One Piece. And then finally in this category, we of course have plenty of characters who we've just seen relatively recently and who are certainly gonna play an important role in the final saga, but who still have a ton of mystery around them. Most recently, we have of course Buggy. How the hell did he become a Yonko? And in Wano, we still have a lot of questions about Toki. Primarily, why did she jump into the future from the Void Century in the first place, and who was she there? What about Bonnie and Kuma, who we saw in the Reverie? What is their connection? We know that Kuma was a revolutionary, but why was his epithet the Tyrant? And why did he agree to Vegapunk's experiment?
I think that was explained why Kuma was his epithet was a tyrant. I think yeah, they explained that. He was an actual king of a country. And I guess he gave himself to the world government in order to protect his country. And I guess they called him a tyrant because he was a king, but he was also pretty ruthless as well. I'm pretty sure it was explained. I could be wrong, but I think at least some of it was explained. Like the whole Kuma being the king, I think that was confirmed. You know, y'all let me know in the comments. Somebody let me know and confirm that in the comments. Was Kuma's if Kuma was a tyrant, or if he was a king? You know, if he was a king before, if that was confirmed in the manga or even in the SBS.
Also, since Bonnie can manipulate her age, how old is she really? And who is she really? And speaking of Kuma, what about the enigmatic leader of the revolutionaries and Luffy's absentee father, Dragon? Why did he abandon his son? What is his absolute goal as leader of the revolutionary army? And what's his devil fruit power? The prevailing theory is that he holds a wind or storm type fruit, but this has yet to be confirmed. And if
Hey, like me and Q just recently came up with a theory, right? And I don't know, I'm not saying we originated this theory. It's just I personally haven't heard anybody ever say this theory. Me personally, if there is somebody who came up with this theory, hey, let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments. But me and Q recently had a theory that maybe Dragon has a devil fruit and he is Uranus. You know, because I believe Uranus has something to do with weather control. And a lot of people believe that Dragon has some weather manipulation abilities, be it wind, be it weather in general, be it storms. I don't know, you know, because everywhere we see Dragon, storms tend to follow. So it could be a situation where Uranus is a devil fruit. And I think that would be a good theme to follow, that every ancient weapon are vastly different. Like one ancient weapon is a ship. You know, it's a form of technology that could destroy islands. And that was created by humans on Earth, for example. One ancient weapon is an actual sentient being. It's a character, Shirahoshi, who is Poseidon, right? And that originates from Fishman Island. The third, we don't know yet, but I would think, just to follow the pattern of each devil fruit being vastly different, or ancient weapon being different, is if Uranus was a devil fruit, right? And it originating from the Sky Islands or Skypiea or even the moon or whatever, or at least having some connection with the sky, because then it kind of covers all the bases of Earth, air, and ocean. You know what I'm saying? And Uranus is the Titan who is considered the sky and the heavens and all that stuff. So I think it would kind of fit.
If Kaido turned out to be a fish, then who knows what misdirection Oda may be employing here. What about the enemies of the revolutionaries, the world government? There's still so much mystery surrounding this entire organization as a whole as well. So before the end of the series, we still need to know, what is the SSG? Who is the leader of SWORD? Is Tashigi actually connected to Kuina in some way, or is their resemblance simply coincidence? How about the admirals? Where in the world did they conscript Fujitora and Ryokugyu from? Both of them are absolute powerhouses that the government just plucked from out of nowhere. Originally, the prevailing theory was that Fujitora and maybe Green Bull were from Wano, but does that still seem likely? Will we get the backstory of any of the admirals? Did Aokiji actually leave the Marines, or is he just spying on Blackbeard? Who are the Gorosei? We do know virtually nothing about these shadowy figures.
I think Aokiji is part of SWORD, and you know, he's doing like undercover work. So it's kind of like he leaves the Marines, and like, yeah, he probably did fight Akainu, but like, I personally think Akainu could potentially be part of SWORD as well. I know a lot of people disagree with that, but I kind of think that there is a possibility. And maybe when he fought Aokiji, maybe they both are part of SWORD. Maybe Akainu and Aokiji made kind of some type of pact, like, look, you know, just let me stay as a Marine. Like, you'll still be part of the Marines, but you go spy on Blackbeard or something, or go spy on some pirates or something. I don't know, you know, but I do think Aokiji is part of SWORD. Akainu, I don't really have a lot of evidence for that. That's just kind of my own fan canon. You know, I think him having a sword tattoo, I'm not saying that's enough to sit here and say for sure he's part of SWORD, but he has a sword tattoo and he's not a swordsman or nothing. Like, why does Akainu have a sword tattoo? He's not a swordsman. He doesn't use swords. None of that. But he has a sword tattoo. It's just to me, it's weird. It's weird. You know, it's a weird choice of tattoos. A lot of times people get tattoos that have some type of meaning. Akainu with a sword is just, I don't know. It's just weird. It's just weird.
Figures that helm the world governments. How old are they actually? Do they have powers, or do they serve in purely a non-combative role? And then, of course, who is Imu, the true hidden ruler of the world government and the world as a whole? How old are they? What powers do they have? And since we recently learned about the Gorosei's special secret friend Shanks, we still need to ask, why is he able to just waltz into Marijoa for a meeting with the Gorosei? Did he know the importance of the Nika fruit when he stole it from the world government? What are his true intentions or allegiances? How powerful is Shanks really? And perhaps the most pressing question of them all, is Shanks the father of Makino's baby? How about the man who left Shanks with his trademark scar? Luffy's biggest rival for the Pirate King's crown, Blackbeard. Before the end of the series, we still need to know Marshall D. Teach's backstory. What is his connection to rocks, given that he named his ship the Razor, the Saber, not the Razor, the Saber of Zebek? Why does he know so much about the world, and what is his ultimate goal? And of course, the most mysterious of all, why doesn't he sleep, and how can he have 2 devil fruit powers? If you're still keeping track at home, that brings us to 90 mysteries yet to be solved in the series, but we're far from done yet. All of these people and places still don't get into the core mysteries of One Piece. What is the true history of this world? We still need to know what has happened during the Void Century. What is the true past of the world government? And what was the ancient kingdom that that they clashed with? What was the great cleansing that led to the presumed end of this ancient kingdom? In Wano, we learned a whole lot about Luffy's devil fruit, but for every answer that we received, we had more questions pop up in their place. Luffy is definitely the next Joy Boy, or just Joy Boy, but we still have to wonder, who was Joy Boy or is Joy Boy? And did the giant straw hat in Marijoa belong to him originally? We do know that.
Yeah, man, that whole like the speaking of questions about like that the whole Gear 5 introduction pose, right? Because it really makes me like, one question he hasn't really asked yet, but it's the matter of devil fruits. Like, this devil fruit is model Nika, which coming like based on Who's Who, the story that he gave to Jinbei, Nika actually existed. But now we also know there's a devil fruit Nika. So if people, so that just makes me believe that Nika, the person who existed, turned into a devil fruit. And if that's the case, are all devil fruits originally coming from people? You know what I'm saying? At least most of them, or animals possibly. You know, like, can you create a devil? I mean, we know that Vegapunk has been able to replicate devil fruits with the devil fruit that Momonosuke had, that everybody viewed as a failure. No, it's the exact same devil fruit as Kaido's almost. It's just an artificial version. But ultimately, it's the same devil fruit. And it works exactly the same. Like, it's like where other small devil fruits, other artificial devil fruits are flawed in many ways. That devil fruit was perfect. You know, the devil fruit that Momonosuke got, it was just like Kaido's, and it probably came from Kaido's DNA as well. But it was a perfect artificial devil fruit. But all the devil fruits that we know of, maybe there was a process of turning, maybe when somebody dies, they can turn into devil fruits. You know, maybe the tree, like the speculation that devil fruits come from like the Adam and Eve tree, maybe those two trees were born or created on cemeteries from the people of the Void Century that possibly learned how to create abilities. Because we know that it's possible for like non-devil fruit users to create abilities. Like Sanji, he's able to turn his leg into fire, right? Kind of like he has the meta no mi a little bit. You know, he could produce fire on his leg. Luffy can as well, and Luffy's devil fruit has nothing to do with fire. You know, and before the whole awakening, he was able to produce fire with his punches. Maybe those are hockey related things. And if that is the case, maybe people back in the Void Century learned how to use hockey in order to produce special abilities. And when they died, their abilities manifested into these devil fruits. And same with animals. You know, like certain animals who might have been laid to rest at the cemetery, maybe those animals became devil fruits as well. And other objects, because we got Mr. One who's a sword, right? So maybe a sword, I don't know.
That Luffy's fruit wasn't actually the Gumu Gumu no Mi. It turned out to secretly be the Hito Hito no Mi model Nika all along. But who or what is the sun god's Nika in this world? And speaking of his very special fruit, we still need a certain Dr. Vegapunk to explain to us what exactly devil fruits are in the first place. We still kind of don't really know. What about Luffy's other special powers that go beyond his amazing feats of haki or devil fruit usage? What is the will of D and the secret behind his and so many other characters' mysterious middle initial? What is the voice of all things, and why can Luffy hear it? Thanks to Sukiyaki's and Robin's conversation in the latest chapter, we also just learned that the ancient weapon Pluton is located in Wano, paying off a mystery that was introduced all the way back in Alabasta. We've learned quite a bit about Shirahoshi, aka Poseidon, but what are the ancient weapons? What was their purpose? We know that Pluton is a battleship of some kind, but who created it? And while we're at it, who created the other mysterious massive boat, the Noah? And for as much as we've heard about the Pluton and Poseidon, we've learned absolutely nothing about Uranus. What and where is this final weapon? And then of course we're missing the ultimate mystery, the treasure that Luffy has been searching for since chapter 1 and the title of the story. What is the One Piece? Before we get into the most interesting questions though, there are still some other miscellaneous things that simply need to happen before the end of the series. We still need to know what the egg was on the Oro Jackson. We still need to see the Ope Ope no Mi's immortality surgery come into...
I don't think we need to see that. Like, at least we don't need to see Law do it. I don't believe. Let's say, come to find out Eam is immortal. Maybe he had that surgery like activated on him, like put on him, right? And if that is the case, maybe in a flashback we'll see the Ope Ope no Mi being used on him. You know? But I don't really think Law needs to do it. If that's the implication, I don't think Law needs to perform that Ope Ope no Mi and die in order to save somebody else. You know? But if we see it in the flashback, I think that's how we could get it, right? That's how we could get the Ope Ope no Mi performance being done and see how it works.
To play in some way or form. We need to see the Grand Fleet reappear during the final war. And there are a few things that aren't super necessary, but we'd really like to see them, so get your pen and paper and start writing those letters to Oda. A lot of fans would love to see another Davy Bat fight, for instance, but with higher stakes. We'd also love to see the Thousand Sunnies Klabautermann make an appearance as well. And while we're now clearly in the era of God Usopp, I
could get behind this.
Sogeking just one last time.
I could get behind Sogeking.
People really want to see God Valley.
Hey, bring back Sogeking. I'm down for it. I'm all down for it, man. I got this theory that Usopp is really Sogeking though. You know, we never seen them two in the same place at the same time. And you look at the nose, they got similar noses. And the hair is pretty similar too. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing that out there. But yeah, I think another thing we need to see, which I think could happen, if there's another Impel Down escape or break-in or whatever, maybe Doflamingo and Bon Clay coming back into the story. Let's say the world government captured Kaido and Big Mom, and they break out of Impel Down, and Doflamingo follows, and Bon Clay follows as well. That'd be a good way to bring them back into the story. I think somebody gave me a theory about Kaido being arrested at the end of Wano, like the world government taking him in. He goes to Impel Down and he escapes, and then that also brings back Bon Clay into the story. That brings back Doflamingo into the story, and if Big Mom goes with him and they both escape together, that brings both of them back. But I think with Big Mom, maybe her family could have saved her, because her family was right outside of Wano as well.
But I'm partial to Sniper Island here, honestly. And hey, if they made it to Skypiea, surely the Straw Hats can make it into your heart. Well, this brings us to a whooping 115 mysteries we need solved and things we need to see in the final saga of One Piece. But there is still one very important category to go. Things that still need to be resolved with the Straw Hat crew themselves. We've spent 25 years following the adventures of Luffy and his crew. Each of the Straw Hats has a dream, and we just know we'll see them achieve their goals by the end of One Piece. For Zoro, we still haven't gotten an explanation about his missing eye, for instance. We also got some massive hints, but no confirmation that he has relatives in Wano. Oda went out of his way to deny that Zoro's father was Ushimaru, the daimyo of Ringo, but if not Ushimaru, then who? And now that he's been wielding Oda's Black Blade Enma, we'd love to see him forge a Black Blade of his own. Oh, and what was with his standoff with the Grim Reaper? Of course, now that he's presumably conquered death, he still has an even more
Yeah, I'm a little upset Oda hasn't really gave us no answers for Zoro. Like, he's been giving us a lot of mysteries on Zoro and Wano, and he hasn't answered any of them. You know what I mean? Like, I think, maybe it's just me. You know, maybe I'm kind of forcing it to be a situation where Zoro has connection with Wano, but I think if Zoro has any family ties, any bloodline, I think it would be in Wano, me personally. And Oda hasn't given us anything from that. He even talked about going to see Ryuma's grave, but we never seen Zoro go to Ryuma's grave. I guess we didn't get any closure with him and Shishui either. I mean, I'm not saying you need the closure, but maybe it'd be nice. And then maybe some family connections, or at least some connections with like his master, Koshiro, and Kozaburo Shimosuke as well. Like their connection with Wano, maybe. I don't know. I would like to see something, you know. And if we don't, then I guess it is what it is. But I'd be a little disappointed if there is like zero connection with Zoro and Wano. I'd be a little disappointed in that.
Formidable foe to defeat as well. Before the end, we need to see Zoro take on Mihawk and become the greatest swordsman in the world. Usopp also has plenty of goals to accomplish as well. He has plenty of lies that still need to come true. We'd love to see him landing a force of 8,000 men, preferably giants of course, become a true warrior of the sea and reunite.
I think some of those 8,000 men, because I could actually see that happening, like especially in the last major war with the world government, pirates and all that stuff. And we have the Straw Hat fleet, and which, might I add, Usopp is the reason why we have a Straw Hat fleet. So that's already what, like, I want to say about 1,200 men right there that Usopp could be responsible for when it comes to him leading all these 8,000 men. And then maybe, let's say he's leading like Wano warriors, he's leading the Straw Hat fleet, he's leading Elbaf warriors, he's leading fishmen. Like we just get a scene of him leading all these men, and it literally equates to 8,000 men. That would be an epic moment right there.
With his father, Yasop. The chef of the crew, Sanji, still owes us some answers as well. His explanation for his fire powers is his burning passion, and many have theorized that it has something to do with Lunarian DNA. But we still need a straightforward explanation. Why the hell can you conjure fire, Sanji? And for someone so obsessed with romance, will he ever find love and reunite with Viola or Pudding or hell, Nami? But more importantly than his love for women is his love for cooking. So we need to see him finally find the sea that he's always dreamed of, the all blue. We don't really have too many questions about.
I think we'll get closure with that when it comes to the end goal of One Piece. Like if they destroy the Red Line and Reverse Mountain, then you get all the seas combining into one area, which will produce the all blue. You get fish from every sea. So I think Sanji's goal in lines with endgame stuff. And as far as him conjuring fire powers, again, I think that's related to hockey and not so much Lunarian DNA. And plus, again, Sanji's also, his DNA has been modified. So that could have something to do with the fact that he's a Vinsmoke and he's like genetically altered. If it's not related to hockey, it might be related to DNA being modified.
About Nami herself, but given that she was adopted after being found by Belmare, we could still ask where she's originally from and who her parents are. It doesn't really matter, but given that we've gotten a lot of extra backstory for Sanji and Zoro recently, and everyone on our crew seems to secretly have special parents for some reason, it could very much still happen. What absolutely needs to happen is that Nami needs to achieve her dream of completing a map of the entire world. With Chopper, we still have a few questions about his zone fruit. We've speculated that his monster point is a forced awakening, but we could still use some confirmation from Oda here. Also, given that we've only ever really seen him as a human reindeer hybrid, we have to ask, can Chopper go full human form? I mean, I don't really want to see it because it would probably be uncanny and terrifying, but I still do have to ask. By the end of the series though, our favorite doctor still needs to cure the world's diseases. Maybe he won't get every single one, but a great one for him to cure, for instance, would be the laughing side effect of the smile fruits, allowing him to further restore the country of Wano. With Robin, most of her big mysteries we've already covered in the section about the true history, since that's basically her dream, to uncover the true history. However, there's still a
now we got another one with the last chapter. So yeah, we're not fully done with Robin. We're not done with Robin, girl.
Very pressing questions. Where is her cowgirl hat? We can only pray that her signature hat makes the return in the final saga. In order for us to uncover all that true history, she also needs to find the remainder of the Pornoglyphs and decipher them all. Given that we just now basically found out what the very first Pornoglyph we saw in Alabasta said, it would be really nice if Oda could give us some translation of the other Pornoglyphs as well. Frankie isn't too mysterious of a figure. He kind of lets it all hang out, sometimes a little bit too literally, I feel, but before the end of the series, we're sure to see him sail his dream ship, the Thousand Sunny, around the globe. Brook, our favorite skeletal musician, obviously has to reunite with Laboon, but we'd also like to see how the #1 bop Bing Sake fits in with the entire story, as has been highly speculated, especially in regards to Love Tale and the One Piece. We don't really have too many questions about Jinbei either, but we do want to see him achieve his goal of brokering peace between fishmen and humans, as well as seeing the fishmen return to the surface. We also don't have too many questions for Yamato except who her mother is, but we do have a lot of questions about our captain, Monkey D. Luffy, such as, who is his mother? And is it Crocodile? And while we're at it, who is his grandma? Because we don't know who Dragon's mom / Garp's wife / partner was either. We also need to see him reunite with his mentor Shanks, as well as return his signature straw hat, in a moment that's sure to leave the fans around the world in tears. We also still need to get confirmation on what the mysterious...
Yeah, it's gonna leave him in tears because Shanks gonna be dying, I'm telling you.
Dream that he shares with Roger is. And last but certainly not least, we need to see Luffy become the king of the pirates. Oh, and actually for Luffy's mom, well, there is this extremely wild theory out there that you really shouldn't miss.
I don't know if I believe that. I'm gonna give Ohara a like. So yeah, definitely a lot of mysteries to talk about. I'm not gonna go through them all. He went through them all. It'll take me another 20 minutes to go through them all again, and I'm not. I kind of went through them as they went. A lot of these mysteries I talk about a lot on the channel. I talk about them a lot. I got a lot of old streams and videos talking about a lot of these mysteries have been talked about with other YouTubers. So, hey, but it's a lot of great mysteries. Let me know. Let me know, what mysteries are you most excited for? Is there some mysteries that he hasn't talked about that you would add to the list that needs to happen? You know what? Let me know. Let me know your thoughts on all this. Make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe and hit that bell for notifications. Also comment, let me know your thoughts on the video. Let me know, add some mysteries. What do you think should have been added? What do you think you could take off of as not as important to go through at the end of the series? Also, follow me on Twitch if you want to catch me live, and follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and join the Discord and be a part of the community. All of these will be linked in the description box below, as well as the video that we just watched from Ohara. So make sure you guys go show him some love. Anyway, it's your boy Sean Peter Blunt. God, know I'm out of here. Peace.